And let's see, what game are we gonna review today? This one. We're gonna review Final Fantasy 1. Let's see here. Here we have the game. And here we have the intro of the game. This is what follows the PlayStation 1 version. And I'm choosing to review the PlayStation 1. Because PlayStation 1 is overall the one with the original difficulty. And no future installments have actually had the original difficulty. And because I live in Europe, I can't actually play the original NES game that the Americans have. So this is my review of Final Fantasy 1. The game. Let's just start this game. So like most Final Fantasy games, you get the intro that says Final Fantasy. And this case, it's the first one ever made. So you get, in a sense, you get the easy mode and normal mode. This is to basically, the easy mode is essentially the every port made of this game in the future, which is not the same as the original. But the normal mode, you actually have the choice. I mean, you have the original difficulty as it was, which is why I have this version of the game, because I want the original difficulty. And when you start this, you get to choose classes. You can choose between warrior, thief, monk, red mage, white mage and black mage. 6 classes in total. And they do different stuff, so pick the one you actually like and just fight. But one criticism is the game is more unbalanced in compared to other games in the series. Because in Final Fantasy 2, 3 and 4 there is more of a defined way in terms of what weaknesses works and stuff like that. So this is more a game I recommend playing after those games in general. But overall, this is the first in the series, so it is a little bit interesting in its own way. But I consider it the most unbalanced game in the series for that reason. Now I just decided to name the characters and just pick a class, and this is basically what I chose so far. Overall, I'm gonna make more further comment later on. For starter, let's start the game and see the intro. Ah. Huh. I don't know, maybe it doesn't have the intro. Oh well. Further on. In this game you have options of talking to NPCs, and they usually will tell you about stuff that may be useful or stuff that may just be information. And this is very typical in a role-playing game. I'm gonna check the store and show something else. Let's see. So here you have weapons. In the modernized version it displays who can equip, so this is more more an easy way to determine which character can equip them. It's also why I actually like the PS1 version. Even though I think the original graphics are cooler, yeah, I just like it because it has the original difficulty, and that's why. So this is to equip who is stronger with it. And there is also stats that is also important. I can show you one example here. For example, let's check the warrior. So you can see the stats are very important actually in the old Final Fantasy games. So in this case he has attack power of 10, and let's check the monk. It has attack power of 2, and the monk is also kind of important because I'm not gonna say what it is because that will just spoil the fun for everyone who want to figure out for themselves. But just my tip is check the stats. It's very important in those old games. They actually have very useful purposes to them. That's just my tip on it. And now I'm gonna show you fights in the game. Now allow me to show how the battle works. You can fight in the overworld or in dungeons. So it's a type of game that has random encounters in terms of a turn-based RPG, which is very common in those games. So I'm just gonna attack individually on these enemies in terms of the old difficulty of this game. And what I love about PlayStation 1 is the vibration function in terms of the analog DualShock of the first PlayStation 1 game. I mean PlayStation 1 in general. Now I have one enemy to take down. So what is important is if you miss an enemy, or to say the least, if you click an enemy and that enemy is vanished, and if the other one clicks the same enemy, then it will always miss. So it's why it's important to pick a different enemy instead of picking the same one in terms of the old difficulty of this game. They have also modernized it though. If you go in configuration here, let's see here. Yeah, here we have it. You see the auto target, that's a new addition. I'm gonna take it off because I want the original difficulty. But if you don't want it, then you can just have it on. This means that if you just attack a random enemy, it will just go to the next enemy. But if you want the original difficulty, then take it off. That's basically it. So yeah, and this is basically my summary of this game is that I think that oh, I forgot one more thing. I'm gonna show you how to save because this is not. Oops. Maybe I should fight. Hold on. All right, now we're back in here. I was a fighter. The thing with the first Final Fantasy game is the way that you had to save was to actually go to an inn and talk to the innkeeper. So if you have enough money, which I have, then you can save. And this is the only way to save in the first game. And this is also the tradition that follows in the PS1 version, because the only way to save is to go to an innkeeper. And this is changed in the updated version of Final Fantasy games in the future installments, where you can just save in the overworld. In Final Fantasy 2 I think they actually had this so that you can just go to the overworld and save. But let's just save and show you here. Save game, yes. Memory card 1. There you go. Let's go outside. And there you have it. I'm gonna see if there is something else here. Let's go to the configuration. Yeah, you actually have the option to change window color, which I think is cool. This is in the PS1 version. For some reason Square Enix doesn't do this anymore, which I think kinda sucks, because I think it looks kinda cool to change the color of your window. I don't know, I think it looks pretty cool. That's also one thing that I like about Final Fantasy Origins, the PS1 version, is the option to change the window color, and also to have the original difficulty in compared to the easy one, which is the default in the current games. And here's also something bestiary. This is only if you are a hardcore collector though, but you can get art gallery, which is cool. You can look at artwork from the creator. So in this case it's a goblin that you fight first, so that's also kind of cool. And there's also other secrets, which I guess you can unlock the further you get in the game. My conclusion of this game is it's a very archaic, rough first entry to the series. I'm probably gonna repeat this in terms of Final Fantasy 1 and 3. I'm a little biased on 2 though, because I actually like Final Fantasy 2. But I think my problem with Final Fantasy 1 and 3 is it's more of doing the same thing over and over with little variety. And one thing I like about the game is doing different stuff. If I do the same stuff over and over, I'm usually getting bored, and that's the problem. But I'm not gonna rant on Final Fantasy 3, because that's not what this review is about. In terms of Final Fantasy 1, I think it's more of a little unbalanced game. I don't think it's the best in series. I think it's more or less better to just wait and play it after 4. Just start with 2, 3, 4, and then just go with Final Fantasy 1. That's just my opinion though. Feel free to disagree or anything else. Thank you for watching this review.